So I
Nice.
guess in the month of June itself, like I guess 2 months after I started using ApplyPass, I was close to I got one offer letter and I was close to getting another offer letter as well.
Hey, this is Kevin Landucci with ApplyPass. What were the 1 to 3 most interesting aspects of your last job search?
So before joining ApplyPass, I was doing applications on my own, but it was taking way longer than I thought it would be taking. Just doing 10 to 20 applications per day would take me around more than 1 hour easily. And
Mm,
plus just the stress of going through those applications and trying to match your own resume experience with those applications, it was becoming very difficult. And it was taking up a significant portion of both my mental time and my, in general, usual daily tasks time. And then after joining ApplyPass, it's like I no longer had to do any applications of my own because ApplyPass was doing it for me. ApplyPass was submitting around 20 applications to 30 applications per day, which would make it 600 applications per month. And they were consistent about it. That's something that we as people cannot usually do because we are just so busy with our own daily lives or just busy with uh, learning new things and building up our own portfolio. So yeah, ApplyPass does a really great job with submitting applications on our
cool,
behalf.
cool. So, when you think about like before ApplyPass and after ApplyPass in that same job search, like in that one job search, how long, like how many months were you just submitting apps on your own?
I was affected by mass role eliminations in January, so I started applying applications immediately, and I must have applied for companies up until I guess the first week of April. And then from that time, ApplyPass took over. And at that point, I decided I'm not going to be doing any applications of my own anymore, unless if it's from
Nice.
strong connections or recommendations.
Did you get any
Um,
interviews in the time when you were applying on your own?
I did get a few contract-based roles, but nothing that was very solid.
Okay.
But
So like a
yeah,
couple in like 4 weeks or 6 weeks, but nothing that was a fit. Okay. And then
that's right.
what about ApplyPass? How long did you lose? How long did you use ApplyPass for? Yeah.
I guess so. I started using ApplyPass in April, and
Oh, in April?
I
In April?
that that's right, April
Oh, so
2023.
you went 3 months of applying on your own. You went from
That's right.
January to April. Okay, sorry.
That's
And
right.
then from
Yeah.
April to when did you use ApplyPass?
I think it has to be till the end of June or the mid of June because
Okay.
the entire month of April it was more of a dry spell, but that's when ApplyPass were submitting applications on my behalf. It's just that the
Right.
recruiters were taking some time to reach back.
Totally,
And
totally.
then, yeah, and then I guess mid-May, I started getting my first calls, and then it was an exponential, like the number of calls that I was getting, it was quite exponential. Like, I guess just from mid-May till mid-June, which is the amount of time it took me to get a job and then to just stop using ApplyPass,
Yeah.
I must have, I must have got at least 3 to 4 screening rounds per week, I guess.
Wow.
Um,
Okay. So
yeah,
you went to less than maybe half of interview per week, something like that, maybe
right.
even closer to like point 0.2 an interview per week to
That's
getting
right.
like 3 to 4 interviews per week.
That's right. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Um, and before when you were doing applications on your own, sometimes you were like personalizing your resume for each application.
I personally was not, just because of my lack of experience before. I was a recent graduate. I was more into machine learning at that time, machine learning and data analytics, learning and analytics as well. Data analytics. But I wanted to so ApplyPass, they did applications for me in all kinds of domains and all the domains that I was interested in full stack and machine learning and data analytics and front end, back end. So I personally did not modify my resume just because I lacked the experience or the skills to do so.
Totally. But
But
I think
yeah,
earlier you said something like some applications would take a really long time. And I thought that was because you were doing like something extra to like try to make your profile stand out when you were doing it on your own. Is that true or?
I don't believe that would be true. But then again,
Okay.
when I was not using ApplyPass, I was not doing as many applications as I should be, or I was not going in the right direction for doing applications. I was going on
Right.
LinkedIn and just doing easy applies as much as I could. And then
Yeah.
when there were entire applications that I had to fill out, including the cover letter and all, I would just be skipping those. I would just be skipping applying to those companies, and that's something that ApplyPass, I guess, did not do.
Yeah. So then let's say if you look back at that time where you're getting like 3 to 4 interviews per week. So are you still applying on your own in that time? Or are you just letting the
I
interviews that come to you be the only ones?
I was not applying on my own at that point. Apart
Nice.
from,
Nice.
yeah, apart from if
Yeah.
I was,
So,
yeah, if I had some strong recommendations or referrals, then I would use them. But I was not getting any kind of positive feedback, positive outcome from those results. Apply
right. So
Pass
if there
was
was
the
like an
only, yeah,
exceptional case, like a super cool company where your friend works
mhm,
there,
that's
maybe
right.
you'd look into that, but regular apps you're not doing. So that's great. So then
That's correct.
with all the time that you were spending on applications before, what did you end up doing with that time when you were just getting 3 interviews per week and not really applying elsewhere? Like, how did you use that the time you got back?
I was ramping up my skills during those time.
Nice.
So again, that was a very confusing period in my life because I was like a jack of all trades but master of none. So I did not know which field I needed to go into: machine learning, data analytics, front end, back end, full stack. And even in these particular fields, you have different languages that you need to master. So I
Mm-hmm.
was just ramping up myself up for the interviews. Some interviews require you to be proficient with Python and React. Some require you to be proficient with Go or Java. So I got some extra time to just spend on practicing these languages and trying to ramp up for my upcoming interviews.
You were prepping.
Practicing,
You were using the time
that's
to
right.
practice and prep for the interviews. That's great.
That's correct.
Um, did that like what effect did that have on the actual interviews themselves?
I believe that it built up my confidence during the interview process because I was already well prepared for them. And while I was giving the interviews, maybe the interviews during the May month did not go that in a positive way, but then the interviews that started coming in June, since I was already mentally prepared with them, and plus I had already worked for them.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting calls. I got two. I mean, I got an offer, and then I got another company that would have gone up till the final stage, but I preferred the first company better. So I
Nice.
guess in the month of June itself, like I guess 2 months after I started using ApplyPass, I was close to get. I mean, I got one offer letter, and I was close to getting another offer letter as well.
Nice. That's great. That's a good success story. All right. That's all I got for you. Thanks for sharing your
Sounds
story with
great.
us. See you, Jay.
Thank you for having me. See you, Kevin. Bye.
All right. And